Everyone says they want freedom, freedom from fear, freedom from pressure, freedom from their past. But the moment life starts to open, a new opportunity, a deeper relationship, a chance to finally be seen, something in them tightens. The mind floods with what ifs, the body, it freezes. And we call that fear. But what if fear isn't a block to freedom? What if it's the threshold to it? Welcome back, everybody. My name is Francis. I'm a clinical therapist and a coach. And if you're new to this channel, welcome. Glad that you're here. And on this channel, my main goal is to really help you get unstuck, help you face a lot of your fears. And by doing all of that, you get to live the life of your dreams, right? The life that you're happy to wake up to and say that you are completely in love with. And it's absolutely possible once we get underneath the fears, the hesitations, the resistance, and all the things that get in the way of you achieving your goals, whatever that is. Today, we are talking about fear and freedom. What I'm realizing is that most people think freedom means having no fear. That once you're healed enough, evolved enough, confident enough, you finally reach this calm, fearless state. And if you've gotten there, please let me know, because I'm still trying to get there. but that's not freedom. That's just control in disguise. That's your nervous system bargaining with life. I'll open up my heart as long as I never have to feel unsafe again. The truth is, fear doesn't vanish when you grow. It changes form. It becomes subtle, quiet. It hides behind logic. This isn't the right time. I'm just being realistic, right? I'm just gonna wait till I'm ready, till I have all the things. I've definitely said that in my last video. I talked about that, and so that's not logic. That's just fear wearing a mask. And the moment you believe it, freedom slips through your fingers. Your brain is not wired for freedom. It's wired for familiarity. Familiarity feels safe, even if it's suffocating. So every time you move towards expansion, your body interprets it as risk. That response shows up when your whole nervous system, can't yet tell the difference between discomfort and danger. They actually feel pretty similar. That's why growth triggers resistance. Your brain is trying to protect you from emotional exposure, from rejection, disappointment, or even expansion, because expansion might mean disconnection from the people who once felt safe. Freedom always threatens the old identity that depended on safety. So fear's job is to say, hey, stay small, stay consistent, stay loved. It's not against you. It's guarding who you used to be. And you might notice this pattern showing up in your own life, maybe as overthinking, procrastination, perfectionism, or pulling back when things start to go really well. And so I built a short What's Your Resistance Style quiz, takes less than 2 minutes, that helps you see which version of fear tends to take over when you're beginning to grow, when you begin to lean against the edge. Again, it only takes 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. And it'll give you a name for that pattern, plus what it's trying to protect and what you can do about it. You'll find a link below. All this makes a lot of sense for me in terms of freedom and fear, because I went through the exact same thing when I left my job and realized I wanted more freedom for my life. I didn't want to sacrifice my freedom or exchange it for the work that I was doing at the time, at the work environment that I was in. And I was terrified every step of the way. And it's not that the fear necessarily got easier. I just created more space within my body, within my mind, to be able to manage the fear. We all can do that, but it takes you taking a tiny bit of risk. So every decision that I made from the time that I left my job in 2013, I was stepping into a new kind of fear, something that was inviting me to expand in a way that I never thought I could. And in the last video, I talked about getting into real estate and how that brought him a whole nother fear. I'm an introvert, so being out there and, rubbing elbows with people, going to these networking events, that was not my jam. But I had to learn how to do that really quickly if I wanted to actually sustain myself financially. And all of these invitations, they're subtle. They seem scary, but they're subtle. And they invite us into new territory, not external, but internal. This is nothing new. In every initiation story, from mythology to mysticism, fear stands at the gate of freedom. It's the guardian at the threshold. Its presence doesn't mean that you're lost. If you're feeling fear, it means that you're close. Because freedom isn't an external condition, it's an internal frequency. And fear is what refines it. It's the friction that makes the soul conscious of itself. And that's why true freedom isn't the absence of fear. It's just the ability to stay present or stay open while it's present. When fear says, don't go, and freedom asks, can I just stay here with you? Can I stay awake here with you? Can we go see what's happening over there? And fear contracts. Freedom breathes. And that breath, that's where transformation happens. There's a quote I always remember by Fitzpearls who says, fear is excitement without the breath. And so when you breathe through fear, you teach your body that aliveness and safety can actually coexist. And that's when fear stops being a wall and starts becoming a doorway that you just sort of walk through. And that's what I meant about earlier. Each doorway definitely is frightening, but it kept creating more, what was weird about it, more safety in my body, because I grew confidence by taking more risks and by facing my fears. And intellectually, we know that, but we just need to be able to create the environment where we can practice it so that our body knows that. And so the question isn't how do I get rid of the fear? It's can I be free with it? Can fear sit alongside with me? Because freedom isn't a feeling, it's a capacity, like I mentioned earlier, to be present when your body wants to run. When you can move with fear, not against it, you stop outsourcing your safety to circumstances and even to people. You become your own ground and sometimes your own guide, your own permission. And so that's the real liberation. It's not escaping fear, but remembering you are the one who can breathe through it. Fear and freedom will always walk side by side. One contracts, the other expands. One says, hey, be careful. The other says, become. Step into the person that you've always been. And so you can't have one without the other, because freedom isn't what happens when fear disappears. It's what's revealed when you stop obeying it. So if this has helped you see fear differently, not as something to conquer, but as something to understand, you'll want to explore the free mini course I created called How to Finally Get Unstuck Without Becoming Someone You're Not. It walks you through why fear shows up right before you grow and how it disguises itself as logic or hesitation, and what to do when your nervous system starts resisting the very thing you say you want. You'll learn how to move through fear in a way that actually feels safe in your body. Not by forcing yourself through it, but by understanding what it's trying to protect, what the message is there. And you can start right after this video. The link is in the description below. If this was helpful to you, please like and subscribe to the channel and share this message with somebody who needs to hear it. I thank all of you for being here and watching the video, and I will see you on the other side of change. Take care.